Hey guys, I'm back. I didn't go AWOL. I appreciate all the messages checking in to see where I was at. I took a little bit of time off. As all you guys know, the work-life balance is hard sometimes. Being a present boss, giving customers consistent quality while fumbling through and learning how to run a business and still being a good husband and father is really rough sometimes. And sometimes you have to back burner stuff that you really love to do, like this podcast. And with that being said, if you guys caught my quick little intro asking that I want to hear from you guys, I want to clarify something. I've been pretty selective about who I choose to have on here for reasons. I want to have people who are relatable and who have been there and in the trenches. I want to talk to people who have something to teach or something to learn. I started this podcast because I wanted to meet and learn from other people in the industry. I regularly get emails from you guys, and I'm honored that you even care about my opinion. I'm positive there are way more qualified people out there to help me answer these most asked questions. So instead of doing the same format as I always do, I kind of want to table a few questions and have a mini series with short episodes for the next couple months to answer some of those questions that everybody has been asking. So yes, I do want to hear from you guys. I'm going to put a list of questions out on our Instagram page, such as what did you learn the hard way? What was your biggest pain point? What do you wish you knew before you started? And things like that. If you've got answers to some of these questions, I want to hear from you. We can make these short, we can make these 15 minutes, we can make these 30 minutes, we can make these an hour if you want. It's up to you guys and what you feel you can add value to. So, by the time you hear this, I want to have these questions posted. If you want to hop on a call with me, give me an email, kevin@jmwfabrication.com. We'll set up a time and we'll see what we can do. I want to start putting these out as they come. So we're going to get back into things pretty quick. So if you've got something, reach out to me, kevin@jmwfabrication.com. And until next time, get out there, get it done, and get it invoiced. Hey, welcome to the Welding Business Owners Podcast. We're a podcast early, but our bids are on time. I'm your host, Kevin, with JMW Fabrication. Today, we've got the second and final episode with Nate Newton from Battleborn Welding. Be sure to go on Instagram and check out the stuff that him and his team do. You can find him at Nate Newton 87. You can find their team at Battleborn Welding. And without any further ado, here's episode number 2. So, back up to what you said about not starting a business and you should acquire a business. Talk a little bit more on that. I know what you mean because I've talked to Josh about this a lot too. But dig down a little bit deeper.
Yeah, so I mean, the only reason Matt and I were able to start up the way we did is because we were pipeline welders. We had fully set up rigs. We're talking 150 grand into each one of those trucks. That's welders, all the equipment, all the tooling, all the shit that we needed. That was the only reason we were successful. For one, business ownership, if you're on the fence on whether or not you should start a business, fuck you, don't do it. It's either you do or you don't. If you're on the fence, it's not for you. Business ownership's not for you. Starting a ground up business is completely useless right now. You're going to put yourself through so much shit, so much turmoil, so much sludge that you have to trudge through to get something off the ground. But there are all these businesses out there that are owned by boomers pretty much that are trying to retire and trying to get out of the market. You can buy these businesses for pennies on the dollar compared to what it's going to take you to do a startup. You should be acquiring businesses. If you go owner finance, you can be like, hey, I don't have a down payment to buy this business from you. But let's say that we keep giving you your salary and I'm going to scale the business up enough that I'm going to, and if it falls apart, you get the business back, right? So you got to make it worthy to the seller, but you're going to buy this business and we're going to keep paying your salary that you have right now. And we're going to take control of the business. We're going to do that for 2 years until we bank enough capital so we can buy you out completely. And dude, scaling a business isn't really that fucking hard. It's not that hard. There's so much information out there to just jump in and rodeo. This could be your first rodeo, and you're still going to do fine. Just do the fucking research. You have the entire world's information at your fingertips. Go figure it the fuck out. You know, and it's all about finding out what markets are working, what markets aren't, you know, what sort of clientele you're going after. If you're going to buy a business, find out how you can, you know, move into other markets with what you're acquiring. There's a lot to it, you know, but just do the fucking work. That's all it is. Just do the work. And I think that trying to go ground up right now is just a severe waste of time. And if anything, you're going to damage the market rather than help the market, because you're out there flailing around the water trying to figure it out. We were rig welding for $75 an hour. You know how dumb that is? The standard rate's $125 an hour out here.
Yeah.
And we were doing it for $75. And, you know, thankfully I have a good relationship with Thomas Parachu from Thomas Precision Welding. And he came to me one day, we were golfing. He's like, you need to raise your rates. And I'm like, well, what are you charging? He's like 150. And I'm out there doing shit for $75 an hour. I'm doing it for half.
That was a kick in the nuts, wasn't it?
That's so dumb. That's so stupid, you know? But I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for him coming to me like, hey, you need to charge more money, you know, dude, that's a conversation you can have with other contractors. If you're out there and some dude's just undercutting the fuck out of you and getting every job, and you're like, hey, are you making any money? Mm-hmm. The answer will be no, you know, but I'm a huge believer in having open relationships with all of your competition.
Yeah.
Every welder in this valley, I know who they are. I ride motorcycles with them. I golf with them. You know, like I don't look at you as competition. I look at you as my counterpart, and we need to keep the market healthy. So let's all make sure that we're talking about things and that we're keeping everything fair, but we're also making money at the same time.
No, that's really good. I feel like I did the same thing. I feel like I screwed up the market because I was getting every job I bid, and I didn't understand how much it really cost to run a business. And it's not only the cost of just paying your bills, it's like the future cost. Like, you're doing this. Like, when I first started out, I didn't understand what putting profit on top of your cost was. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, I think I started charging like $65 an hour, and like 65 times 8 hours a day for 3 days. Like that's what I'm going to charge you plus material. Like, no, you need to put profit on top of that. And,
right,
you know, like on top of the fact that I was charging $65 an hour, where everybody else is charging $85 to $125 an hour for shop work. And I'm like,
right,
you know, that's why I was getting it. But like, you know, I figured it out. I adjusted accordingly. You know, like kind of like what you said. Like a lot of the old timers around our way are not like super friendly, so they don't understand that concept of like there's enough work to go around for everybody. Let's just, you know, all get along. So the guys who do understand that, like, we throw work to a bunch of other people that we don't want to do. You know, Raj over at Five Rivers Fab, we don't do signs. Like, we send all our sign work to him because he's fast. He's a cool dude. I like him, and he does a really good job.
Yeah. So you have people that you can move those projects along to, that if you can't handle them, which is, I mean, what a compliment to both of you.
Yeah.
That you have this understanding that you're like, I'll put my name behind sending somebody over to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's, and I think people need to understand, if you're above a 40% close rate, you need to raise your rates.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to do less work for more money? You know, like, yeah, I'm not landing everything, but I'm landing the shit that makes me fucking money.
When you first start out, you're scared. Because I was.
You just want to work. Yeah.
I was afraid to not have work. I was afraid. I was like, you know, like having work and staying busy equaled success and money for me, even though it didn't. It did not equal money and success. Now I'd rather stay at home and, you know, not be busy rather than cut my rates and actually like you're like, when you understand your costs, you'll realize that like there's a certain point where you're literally paying money to do the job. And
yes,
if you don't understand where that number is, boy, that's dangerous. You know,
Dude, Job Tread. So the software we use for our company is Job Tread.
Yep.
Fucking game changer when it comes to job costing. You
Yep.
know, you really see where your money is going, and I can't put enough high praises behind Job Tread. If you're a contractor, go get fucking Job Tread right now. It is huge. The real time data that you have to see where your money's going and see how much money you're actually making or losing, which most of us are. I mean, fuck, dude, we financed this company for the first 3 years with pipeline money. We were out chasing pipelines still and using that money to get this company off the ground. That's why I'm an advocate for not doing ground up startup businesses. You know, it eats everything, and understanding those numbers is it's critical. And there's so many people that are running around operating their business without understanding job costing.
Oh man, Job Tread has been a game changer for us too.
Oh, you guys got it?
Oh yeah.
Fuck
yeah. Job Tread has been, I mean, just the estimating side. You know, I'm still building my library of stuff and, you know, trying to figure out how to come up with templates and things like that. But man, one problem that we've always had is I go do the estimating. I do the site walks. I do the pictures. I do all project management and communication and all that stuff. It's relaying what I know to everybody else. And
transfer of information. No more gatekeeper.
Yeah. And it has to go from me. It goes to Dylan. And then it goes to the guys in the shop. And boy, I just assume that everybody knows everything that is in my head and is on my camera reel and my phone. And like, you know, Dylan's coming to me with questions. I'm like, why are you asking stupid questions? I'm like, did you look at the picture? He's like, you didn't upload a picture. I'm like, oh, damn. That's my fault. Sorry, dude. You know, but with Job Tread, you can just, you know, you can upload pictures, documents, the templates that they have there, the communication on the dashboard of, it's awesome.
I mean, you got a guy that's, you know, there's somebody assigned to your account, whatever questions you have, they'll figure it out for you.
Yeah.
You know, dude, software nowadays, it's everything. It really is. Because Job Tread is it's the lifeline of the business. Everybody has access to all the information. I'm no longer a gatekeeper. You don't have to come and ask me. You open up your fucking phone, boom, there's the plan set right there. There's the bid set. There's the steel detailing. There's all the interactions that we've had with the client. Like, all of it is right there. Yeah. And I don't do you know how many, once we got Job Tread, do you know how much my phone stopped ringing from our guys? You know, like, nobody calls me for shit anymore, which is great. Yeah. I love that aspect of it, you know?
Well, it's one of those things, you have to adopt it or else you're going to be competing against people who do. And you're going to be either losing money or you're just like, I look at it as it's out there. It's inexpensive. Why would you not adopt something that makes your life easier? It makes you more money. It gives you more clarification. It takes more things off your plate. It helps your guys be more successful. And everybody else who you're competing against is doing this. And if you're not doing it, they're going to win. They're going to have better customer relations. They're going to know their numbers. They're going to know that, like, when they lost money on their job or when they didn't, they're going to have better communication and they're not going to miss things. And like, you have to adopt it.
Yeah. You're going to be out there chasing projects for fucking low end dollars. Meanwhile, the guys that have all this shit, they're going to be out there chasing the high end shit that, you know, 30% profit margins. Like, good. Dude, if anybody can make that, I'm like, hell yes, good for you. Yeah. And I think that's another thing that kind of needs to be talked about a little bit too, is understanding the diversity of your company. Like, we have certain markets that we're in that we make 30% on. We have other markets that we only make 10% on, but they're huge in volume. You know, if you got a fucking $2 million project, you're not running at 30% profit margins. You're not going to land the job. You're going to be running at 10%. You know, and me personally, I will never go below 10% because I ain't getting out of bed for single digit profit margins, you know? So understanding where and what you can get away with as far as your margins are concerned. I mean, on the commercial side, everybody's playing at 10%. Right? Clean and clear. That's what it takes to land the fucking job.
Wow.
But I mean, dude, if you get a project, you know, you got 4 guys on a job and they get it done in 2 months, you made $100,000. That's a good fucking day, you know?
Heck yeah.
So it's understanding where your numbers are at within different markets it's critical to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is or has been the secret to your success?
So am I successful?
You're still doing it. You might be a glutton for punishment, but
yeah, maybe I'm just dumb, you know. But dude, I'll tell you right now, and you know, because I've had this conversation with Matt and I've had it with Josh. It's fucking grit, dude. Mm-hmm. It's grit all day. It's about not only being willing to, but kind of enjoying getting kicked in the fucking mouth over and over again, and learning along the way, you know. But it's grit. It really is. Grab your bootstraps and just go, all right, one more. I swear we're going to learn this time. You know? Josh he actually gave us a compliment the other day that, you know, attributed to that, and that the business is where it is because we have grit. We ain't fucking giving up on shit. This thing has to burn to the fucking ground before I walk away from it, you know. And I thank God we sacked up and moved along when we did. It has been a hard road, you know. Like, business ownership it fucking sucks, dude. It does. You know, everybody wants to see you at your 10-year mark when, you know, you're not here as much and you've built the teams and you've done all the stuff. And they're like, you know, they must be nice motherfuckers, you know? Yeah. Like, oh, must be nice. It's like, dude, you have no fucking idea what we went through for a decade to get to this point, you know? And so it's, you know, and you got to be able to tune that kind of shit out.
Yeah.
You know, even your team members will do that kind of shit to you, you know? Like, well, you know, if you were here more, it's like, why? I pay you to do this kind of stuff. Like, it's that we pay you well. I mean, we pay 30% over standard market value. Like, we take care of our guys. We do. Because I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of shitty fucking leadership, to be on the other end of shitty systems, shitty operations, you know? Like, I've been there. We built this business to take care of the people. But, like, that was the whole point of starting this business, is that we want to build something that people want to be here, and we're going to take such good care of them that their families are going to be taken care of. They can get the time off. They can get what they need. That was why we did this. It's not about my money. I got fucking money. It's there. You know, it's invested. It's in the right places. It's not about me. It's about building this for the people that work for us. And every once in a while, you'll catch that must be nice shit. And it's like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. You know? But they don't know. They don't know. They don't know what we went through for 10 years to get to this point, you know?
Yep.
And to be able to drop your ego off and maybe try and explain it or just ignore it completely, you know, that's the way to deal with it, honestly. You know, they'll never know that you stayed up until 2:00 in the morning, tripping the fuck out over whatever projects are going on. You did that for 5 years. They'll never see that, you know, and you can't explain it to them. You know, you just sound like a douchebag. Oh, back in my day, if you fucking knew what I had to go through, like, okay. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's grit, man. It really is. It's grit.
I have a picture of when I first started out. Before I wasn't even full time. I had an old 96 F350, and I had a Bobcat 225. Like, it lived on a trailer, so I could park the trailer underneath the tree, come along it up high enough so that I could move the trailer, back my truck under it, and put it in the back of my truck so it could go out and do side jobs. And I'm telling you, man, like I've been saying for years, I'm going to frame that picture. It keeps me grounded to the point where I'm like, you know what? Like, I remember where I came from, and I'm not too much further than that. It's one of those things. It's a humble reminder of where I came from and the potential. Because like back then I had so much potential. There was so much I could do. Like I was determined. I was going to make this. Like there was no question of whether this was going to work or not. I was just going to keep on doing it until I was successful. And here I am still trying to be successful.
Yeah.
Every day.
Dude, that's, you know, people try to tell me I'm successful all the time. And I'm like, okay, like based on what metric? Because I don't feel like I've done shit yet, you know? Like, I mean, dude, that's the thing is, you know, like we started this business in a 2-car garage in a fucking subdivision of the Ranchos here. And we went from that to having a 10-man team doing millions of dollars. That only happened because we didn't give up. There were plenty of times that it was, I mean, we were right there, man. We were right there on the brink of just losing everything. Somehow we always pulled it out of our ass. But it's because we showed up every fucking day. We did what needed to be done and we got through it.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, grit's one of those things that you just can't teach people. Either you got it or you don't, you know. It's a difficult thing to watch other people give up and then you keep going and you're like, okay, well, it kind of worked out. But then if you look at it in the long run, you know, if you look at it over 10 years, those little incremental moments where it all should have gone to shit, but we kept pushing forward. That's what made it what it is today.
So you said that the grit is the reason why you've succeeded so long. Have you ever considered hanging it up and going back to a 9-to-5?
Back to a 9-to-5, no.
Okay.
I do want to sell the business. I want to get out of construction. Construction sucks. That's especially when you're a sub, you're so dependent upon everybody else, you know. At the end of the day, I would like to sell the company to the employees.
Okay.
I would like to make it a employee-owned business. I will always own a business one way or another, you know, but I think that the more time that I've separated myself from being a welder to being a business owner, the more I realize the potential in being a business owner. Manufacturing is appealing. At some point, I will leave Battleborn Welding, but not until I know that it will be what we've built it to be.
Okay.
And I think that selling it to the employees will be the way to go. I think that will, once people have the skin in the game, that they have profit sharing, that they can make more money by the company succeeding. I think that that's going to drive what we were trying to do originally anyway. I want a legacy to be left with the business, you know, and Matt feels the same way. You know, he's on the same boat. And I mean, if you're going to go in and pour your heart and soul into 40, 50 hours a week into this place, like, I think you should get something out of that. You know, I think that you should have some sort of profit sharing. You should have some sort of, you know, skin in the game when it comes to it. And yeah, our crew is fucking amazing. These guys they eat and sleep Battleborn Welding. Like, they fucking love this place and they love what we've provided, and they have taken it by the reins, and they've done such an amazing job of being top-notch, you know, skilled individuals. And I'd love to see them have it, you know, and I'll figure something out along the way, but you know, Battleborn won't be for forever for me.
Okay.
Like I said, I want to try other things out, you know, like I'm pushing 40, you know, so it's like, okay, cool. We've spent 10 years doing this. Like, let's sell it to the employees. Let's fucking give them a way to make more money for themselves. And let's go. Dude, I honestly, like, I'd love to get into sales.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to be an outside sales rep for like Miller or Lincoln, you know, like,
interesting.
Because I know how to run all the equipment. I know how to do all the welding, you know, like I can demo the fuck out of it, but I'd love to try sales out. And there's this thing that you have where once you have fuck you money behind you, you know, like when I'm not dependent upon you to feed me, when I could just say fuck you and I'm done. You know, if you want to get Western about it, or you want to try and tell me this or that or the other, and I can say fuck you, that's I mean, if Battleborn can provide me fuck you money and I can go out and do something new, and to know that all of our guys are taken care of, I'm 100% on board for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. It's, you know, that's the dream, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
You know? Like, we all got to have something to strive towards, you know, but
Yeah.
I like I said, I'm pushing 40. I've done a lot in life already. Let's go see what else we can do. I need a new challenge out in front of me at this point. I mean, business ownership is always going to be challenging. It's always challenging, you know, but let's go do something we haven't done before.
I've never really thought about the employee-owned part of the business. We are working on a profit bonus. We've learned once you call it profit sharing, there's a lot of stuff that goes involved with the government. And
Yes.
I'd rather just do a profit bonus for everybody. So they do have the skin in the game. That's a really great concept.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what that looks like in its entirety. You know, I mean, it's probably, you know, the business would have to fund paying Matt and myself off, you know? So, I mean, whatever, if you're getting a fucking check for the rest, you know, the next 20 years or whatever, so be it, you know, and then you're out doing whatever it is you do anyway. You know? And you got to leave it in the hands of the right people, you know, like you don't want to sell the business to somebody that's going to tank the fucking thing.
Yeah.
But I think once everybody as a collective is involved, like they're all going to push to keep it alive. And we've done a lot of great shit with this company. We really have. Like, we've done some really cool projects. We've taken care of a lot of people, and we get to work in one of the most beautiful places on the face of the planet, you know. Like Lake Tahoe, if anybody's listening to this, you know where Lake Tahoe's at, fucking Google it. This place is amazing. You know, and we're up building custom homes up in the mountains, you know. Like, it's you don't get better job sites than what we're doing right now. You know?
I bet.
So, you know, leave it in the hands of the people that are going to take care of it and treat it the way you did, if not better, and, you know, move on to something else.
What kind of stuff do you see other business owners doing that they need to change?
Undercharging, for sure. I mean, the problem is we're all out here fucking cutting each other's throats, or if anything, we're cutting our own throats, you know? But answer your fucking phone, dude. If you took on a project, answer your goddamn phone. We deal with this in the custom home market all the time, that people they fall off. They have a contract and they fall off for 2 months. Can't get a hold of anybody. It's like, I get it. You're busy, but fucking communicate. Let me know where you're at. Like, if you can't make it, you can't make it, but at least tell me you're not going to make it, you know? The charging, the communication, presentability, dude. I mean, I see a lot of dudes, we call them Chuck in a truck who don't give a fuck. Like a dude that shows up in some clapped out 1990 fucking F-150, things beat to shit. He's wearing an AC/DC t-shirt with the sleeves cut off. And it's like, who do you work for? You know? Fucking be presentable, you know? Like, we've got such a bad enough reputation being in the trades as a bunch of fucking swindlers and, you know, half-wits. And it's like, all you're doing is adding to that stigma. You know, like, show up presentable, you know? Have some uniformity. Fucking have a shirt with your logo on it, you know?
Doesn't take much.
It's not that fucking hard. They're pretty cheap, dude. So, I guess all this kind of encompasses into professionalism in the trades.
Yeah.
Like, be a fucking professional, dude. If you look at how much time it takes to get your doctorates to become a MD, and you look at how much time we spend learning our craft, we spend more time doing that than they do.
10,000 hours.
So you put as much time in there as a fucking doctorate, and you show up looking like some scuzzy piece of shit, that's the best you can do?
Yep.
Like, yeah, just be fucking professional, man. That's one of those things that it infuriates me when I see some dude that's just, you know, looks like he smells like shit from 20 feet away. Like, you're clearly an HVAC, aren't you? Josh. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I know you got other plans today, so you got anything for me?
No, man, I appreciate having us on here, dude. And even, you know, the one we did before, dude, that was such a killer conversation. And I really appreciate the work you're doing with the Welding Business Owners podcast. You know, it's such good information. I've listened to a shitload of your episodes, and there's so many good people that are coming in and talking. And it's such an eye opener that I wish this shit would have been available when I started,
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Are you coming out to FabTech this year?
I don't know if I'm going to do FabTech, but are you doing the Welders Olympics again?
Yes, I am.
I think we're going to send a couple guys out.
Oh, yes.
I think I'm going to compete too.
Hell yeah. September 28th.
I'm taking it home. So the estimator's going to come in and win the whole fucking thing. Don't worry.
Do it, man. You're going to have some tough competition.
Good. I'm up for it. But I got a couple of really good guys in here that are our shop steward, Danny. That guy is one hell of a fucking fabricator, and I think we're gonna pay to send him out there. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. We'll come out there and rattle the cage a little bit,
I love it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate your time, buddy. I'll catch up with you soon. All right.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Kevin.
See you, man. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my talk with Nate Newton from Battleborn Welding. Make sure to stop back next week for a brand new episode series with Dylan from Yeti Welding. That one's a long one. I really, really enjoyed talking to him, and I think you guys are going to get a lot of value out of it. So if you want to go check out what we do, find me on Instagram at JMW Fabrication. Find the podcast at Welding Business Owners Podcast. You can also find all the stuff for the Fabricator Olympics on there too. So until next time, get out there, get it done, and get it indoors.